Imagine two places so steeped in misery they can't let go of it, even after the doors are locked and the lights go out. Two abandoned insane asylums, Danvers State Hospital in Massachusetts and Athens Lunatic Asylum in Ohio. Both real. Both shuttered decades ago. Both carrying stories that cling to the walls like damp rot. I've got two true tales from these haunted hulks, straight from the people who lived them. People who went looking for a thrill and found something they couldn't shake. Let's step inside. First, Danvers State Hospital, 1992. Picture it. A sprawling Gothic nightmare, built in 1878. Once home to thousands of patients, some mad, some just unwanted. By the late 80s, it's closed, left to crumble after years of overcrowding and whispers of brutal treatments. Lobotomies, shock therapy, you name it. The state shut it down in 1989, but the building stood there, empty, brooding, until the wrecking ball came in 2007. Before that, though, two guys, Paul and Jake, decided to break in one chilly night in '92. They were your typical urban explorers, flashlights, a camcorder, a itch for adrenaline. They didn't believe the local rumors that the place wasn't as empty as it looked. They slipped through a broken window, boots crunching on glass, and made their way through the main hall. The air was stale, thick with dust and something heavier, something that made their skin prickle. Paul said it felt like walking into a room where an argument had just stopped. They climbed the stairs, past rusted gurneys and scattered papers, heading for the third floor, the violent wing. Back in its heyday, that's where they kept the worst cases. The screamers, the fighters, the ones they strapped down and never let up. Now it was just a long, dark corridor, lined with peeling, paint and doors hanging off their hinges. At first it was quiet, just their footsteps bouncing off the walls, their breaths puffing out in little clouds. Then Jake froze. "You hear that?" he hissed. "Like whispering?" Paul laughed. It off. Told him it was the wind or his imagination. But they kept going, deeper into the ward, and the air started to change. It got dense, like someone had turned up the gravity. Then Paul heard it too. A soft, constant murmur, like a dozen voices, all talking over each other, too low to catch the words. It wasn't coming from any one spot. It was everywhere, seeping out of the walls, the floor, the ceiling. They fumbled with the camcorder, cranked the mic sensitivity, trying to record it. The tape caught something, a low, eerie hum. Layers of voices weaving together, no wind or animals to blame. Jake's eyes were wide now, his flashlight shaking. He wanted out, said it didn't feel right. But Paul needed more. He took a deep breath and yelled into the dark, "Who's there?" The whispering stopped, like someone flipped a switch. Silence pressed in, heavy and thick. Then, right behind Paul, a single voice answered, clear and cold. "You." He whipped around, flashlight slashing through the gloom. Nothing. Just empty air. Jake was 10 feet ahead, staring back, pale as death. He hadn't heard it. Only Paul did. They bolted, stumbling over debris, hearts hammering till they hit the cold night outside. Paul swore he felt something watching them all. The way out, like eyes boring into his back. That tape they made, it survived. Friends who heard it later said the whispers were real, faint but undeniable. Danvers is gone now, leveled to dust, but the grounds still hum with stories. Locals say if you stand there long enough, you'll hear it too. Patients, packed in like cattle, cut open and shocked into silence, still muttering their pain into the wind. Now let's move to Athens Lunatic Asylum, Ohio, 2001. This one's different but just as grim. Built in 1874, it housed thousands over the years, some insane, some just dumped there by families who didn't want them. By the time it closed, in 1993, it left behind a sprawling campus, 1-800 unmarked graves, and a reputation that kept most folks away. Most, but not Sarah. She was a college kid, bold and bored, who thought Halloween night, October 31st, 2001, was the perfect time to sneak in alone, just her, a Polaroid camera, and a flashlight, chasing a scare she could brag about later. She crept through the main entrance past broken doors and shattered windows, the wind howling through the empty halls. The place smelled of mold and decay, and every step echoed like a gunshot. Sarah had heard about the hydrotherapy rooms in the basement, where they'd plunge patients into ice-cold water for hours, sometimes days, to calm them. Sometimes they didn't come back up. She found the stairs down, each one creaking under her weight, and stepped into the basement. It was freezing, even for late fall, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. She found one of those rooms, a cavernous space, dimly lit by her flashlight, with a big metal tub in the center. Rusted, stained, silent. She aimed her Polaroid at it, snapped a shot. The flash burst out, stark white against the dark, and when it faded, she saw it, a shadow on the wall. Tall, hunched over, no head. Her stomach dropped. She turned, swinging her flashlight, figuring it was her own shadow playing tricks. But there was nothing behind her. No shape, no angle to cast it. Her hands shook as she took another photo, watching the Polaroid develop in the dim light. There it was again, clearer now, that headless figure, like it had moved closer, stepping off the wall toward her. Then she heard it drip, 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 water slow and steady, like the tub was filling up. She checked it when she walked in. It was dry as a bone, hadn't held water in years. She pointed her flashlight at it, beam cutting through the dark. The dripping stopped, sudden and sharp, but then movement. Something darted across the room, fast and low, too quick to track. She felt it pass her, a rush of frigid air, like a hand brushing her skin. Her breath caught and she ran, feet pounding up the stairs. Camera clutched tight. She didn't stop till she was outside, gulping air, the asylum looming behind her like a predator. Those Polaroids? She kept them. One's just the tub, cold and empty. The other's got that shadow, headless, looming, like it's about to reach out. Athens still stands today, parts of it cleaned up for offices, but the basement's locked. Off limits. Locals say it's not just stories. Patients died down there, drowned in those tubs, and they don't rest easy. Sarah never went back, but she'll tell you, something's still waiting in that dark. 2 asylums, 2 nights, 2 souls who thought they could handle what was left behind. Danvers with its whispers, Athens with its shadows. They're not just old buildings. They're tombs for the broken, the lost, the ones who never got out. Stand too long in their silence and you'll hear it, feel it. Voices in the walls, shapes in the dark, echoes of a past that won't let go.